everyone, Tasha here, and we are going to talk about the 4 things that you need to make offers a no-brainer when you go to offer them to your clients. So what is an actual offer? It is, an offer is the thing that you were going to say, would you like to buy this? And it's going to include things like how it works, what's included, how much is it, mostly those things, right? That is the offer part, but there are some components that really need to be considered for it to be a no-brainer. And I think that a lot of people that I've talked to, they just make their offers this way. They talk to their client or customer and they're like, yeah, we're talking. It's not really structured. And they're like, I think you need this. And they're like, that's the way they do their offer. The problem is this does not convert well. It leads to lower average order, lower retention across the board, and it's harder for you to execute. You can't listen because you're thinking about what are they going to buy. Instead, what you want are standard offers in your business that will cover about 80% of your customers or clients on their first step so that you can write a sales conversation that logically leads to them buying one of your core offers, and they feel safe and they feel like they can trust this whole process because it's tried and true instead of unique for every single person and there isn't a process that they're going through. So there are 4 things that you really want to consider when you're making your offer. The first is, what are the objections? What are the reason people are not going to buy? There's this quote, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, fool me 3 times, shame on both of us. Well, my version of that is fool me once, shame on you, fool me every day of my career, shame on me. Most of us, if you're watching this video, have been in your business for more than a day or 2. So you've probably had people say things like, I'm not, no, because, and you know a lot of the reasons that they do not buy. Well, what if we started by making a list of those reasons and baked as much of those objections into the offer? We should really start there. We're going to need the offer and the sales conversation. You can't just do it with the offer. You have to also know how to talk to people and explain it in a good way to overcome objections. But we start with the offer. So first we need to consider the objections that they might have. Instead of just saying, here's the thing I think you should get. That's not going to lead to a lot of success. The second thing is we need what's called a clear transformation. The way it makes sense to me is they're here, like on this side of the mountain, there's a ravine, and then there is like where I am, or a more ideal state for them. And then the bridge is what they do, like executing the offer. And so if they're going from here to there, we need to know what is there here and what is there, and we have to be able to say that. The best transformation example that always comes in my mind are those dishwashing soap commercials where you have this family with this pot and it's so gross and it is going to take 30 minutes to an hour to clean. But then they use this dish soap, and then the next thing you know, the dish is sparkling and that family member is hanging out watching TV. That is a before and after image that you're like, yes, I relate to that before, I want that after, so I need your bridge. That's the way customers think, and so we need to consider that. The third thing we need to consider is, why do they need to get it now as opposed to later? And a lot of this has to do with our own connection to, quite frankly, their suffering is what I think about. So our clients, if you're watching this, we help people make more sales. So what I have to do is really think about, in what ways is not making enough sales increasing their, like, what suffering are they going through that I need to think about, or I need to remember that it just really isn't necessary, because my goal in sales is to alleviate unnecessary suffering, get their the product or service, get it in their hands so that they don't have to suffer so much anymore. And so when I start thinking in that way, I can start to think of what are all the reasons they need to do this now as opposed to later. The fourth component, or the fourth thing that your offer needs to be or have, is it needs to be hopeful and empowering. They can't feel like you're forcing a solution down their throat. They have to feel like they have choice. They need to feel hopeful that they can do it. And all of these things need to be considered when it comes to your offer. I went through over the past few months and really took a hard, serious look on how to help our clients with offers. And most of the time, I was doing it in one-on-one coaching, and I was just making it up all in my head. I've been selling stuff for over 2 decades, and so I kind of understood how to do this. But then I had to do a group coaching, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do all of these one-on-one in like 2 different one-on-one calls. So normally, right, it's at least $1,000 or $2,000 for me to help someone with their offer. And so what I did is I went through and realized that the questions I was asking them, or the things that I was processing, there were actually 7 pieces of pre-work and 12 pieces of crafting the offer. And that is a lot. So just hang with me for a second. Until I went through this offer framework myself, I think our offers only had half of the components, and we have sold over $5 million. And I think that's really important to note. You do not have to spend years wondering. You don't even have to implement everything perfectly. Just by having a good framework that addresses objections in advance, has a clear transformation, addresses reasons they should do this now, and is hopeful and empowering, will make your sales so much better. And so if you're watching this and you can relate to all of this, and you're like, yes, I need that. I want to make sure that you let us know if you're interested in the workshop we're having, the Irresistible Offer Framework Workshop. I know you're going to love it. I'm just going to whiz everyone through all this in 2 hours, and by the end, you're going to feel like you have really clear offers, and I think it's going to help a lot. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you just drop a comment and we'll get to you. Otherwise, I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.